I am a co-PI on an STEM scholarship grant that I developed and revised with one of the first HSI STEM workshops. So thank you again so much for all these connections which have really supported and helped us brainstorm some new actions as well. And we're still learning from this scholarship program. So the HSI STEMs mainly provide scholarships, and we're studying how much of an effect that has on student success. Meanwhile, the state of New Mexico has funding that makes tuition free for in-state students. So there's kind of a background to that. And we're also providing group mentoring for scholars that are selected for these scholarships. We have 1,200 undergraduate students. And as Dr. Camacho was talking about, not only are we an HSI, but we're rural as well. We're the public four-year technical university. So we have all STEM majors. And that means that in our program, it's very challenging, just like Veronica said, to design experiences that all of the majors can have at once. That coordination has been something that we need to supplement. And so we are increasingly low income. Our Pell eligibility continues to increase year by year. And we're really interested in forming partnerships with community colleges, partly because we find that students are sort of self-selecting against math and science in applying for our university. So we really want to give them a buffer time of exploration so that they can find STEM majors. That's something I'm very interested on Saturday, if people can talk about. Let me just go back to, so in the spirit of making sure that best practices work at HSIs, I studied how students benefited from some evidence-based study skills. These are ones that have been collated as outreach by the learning scientists, who are a group of cognitive psychologists who realized that their research wasn't being implemented very well. And they replicated at an HSI. If you were doing the unrecommended strategies of highlighting and rereading, this was a pre-test, post-test of 300 majors, so a quarter of our undergraduates. I just asked them, what are your study habits? And the ones that could adopt these evidence-based study skills, it improved their grades. It's a moderate prediction, right? This was also during the pandemic, so it was hybrid, and everything, is moving at the same time as you try to study it in educational research. But the other thing that I tried as part of this, the ed research with the STEM, was to change the messaging about the study skills. And let me just give that result because I'm out of time. I compared a peer who turned it around, chemical engineer, telling you about the study schools on script, versus the authority. No difference. Maybe this is because STEM students are cultivating their ability to understand where authority comes from when scientists talk about research. So, thanks.